Today I'm making for you a stir fry. So I've got myself all prepared, I've washed my hands, wet cloth underneath the chopping board to secure the chopping board, and I have my ingredients here. So today I'm using an onion, I've got some bean sprouts, mange two, a little stir fry pack here, some leek, chilli, broccoli, okay, these are baby leeks, and baby sweet corn, and this here, which is a mange two, part of the pea family. There's my chilli. So, first of all, I'm going to prep up my onion. I'm going to get out the white tray from my unit, so I can put all my chopped veggies onto the tray. So, top and tail your onion, peel off to the side. And then slice the onion from top to bottom. So now you've got two flat surfaces to deal with. So bridge over your onion. You see I'm forming a bridge. Hold it in place and then slice through. Try and keep them even. Again, keyword uniform. Now I'm not going to dice it, so just thin slices, and then I'll go with the other one. So again, bridging over, holding it in place, and slice through as evenly as you can. Okay, so that's my onion slice, so I'm going to put that onto the tray. Right, next comes my baby, no, hang on a minute, pepper. I have a pepper. So I'm going to take the top of the pepper off, like that, and then pull out the middle. Like that. Now give it a tap to get rid of any seeds, and then slice it in half and turn it, so get rid of that bit, so it's flat onto your chopping board. So here, using the claw grip, and slice thin slices of the pepper. Make sure you keep it even, because you need even sized pieces so that they cook at the same time. By having a piece of pepper that size and a piece of pepper that size, it's not going to cook at the same time. Just that to one side, and then we go with the other half of the pepper. When your pepper's all done, put it onto your tray. And move on to the next vegetable. Now for this, I would recommend using between 3 to 5 different vegetables, maybe more if you want to. I've got more, but up to you. So with the baby corn, just gonna hold it in place and slice down the middle. If you want to slice it into quarters so it's even like the pepper, then go for that. Don't recommend cutting it into small pieces like that, because then that will look not uniform, like obviously our peppers, the corn and the pepper are cut the same way. Okay, so that's enough of the corn done. So now I'm going to go with my baby leek. Now, whether you're using a full-size leek or a baby leek, whichever, or even not a leek, but you take off the bottom and then just score at the top and take off the outer layer. And then with that, to keep it the same as everything else, i.e. uniform, slice down the length and down length again. Okay, so there you go, you've got your leek chopped up. Then take the bottom off, score the outside, take the outside peel off. Right, so that's my leek prepped up on my tray. Next thing I'm going to do is the mange tout. So all you do with mange tout, or sweet sugar snap peas if you're using them, is out on a diagonal, slice off the ends. Okay, now I'm not going to half it because I'm just going to keep it the same length as everything else that I've got there. So literally, you take it off on the diagonals like that, then put it onto the tray. Now to make it a bit quicker, you could take a bunch of them together and then on a diagonal. And get those other bits off the board. Okay, so next moving on to the broccoli. Okay, you could leave it whole like that, but I'm just going to slice it down the middle. Okay, so there's the broccoli done, put that onto the tray. Right, lastly I've got chilli, so let's clear the chopping board. Now with the chilli, you can take the end off, take that little end off, and just slice it down the middle. Now if you don't like it too spicy, take out pips, seeds even, but I'm going to leave them in. And then just slice the length of the chilli about 4 times. But we're not going to leave it a long piece like that. Okay, so this one's going to be diced really small, so that the chilli flavour can infuse in our stir fry. Now make sure when you finish chopping your chilli that you wash your hands. Do not touch your face until your hands are washed, because it will make your face very hot. So again, very small pieces. So you see, it's a small pieces of chilli on there. Right. Last thing that I need to prepare is my garlic. So that's a bulb of garlic. So just remove 1 clove, then using the heel of your hand on the flat of the knife, crunch it, then nip the end off, and then the peel should just come off as one. Okay. Then bridging over it, so again forming a bridge. Slice one way, and then the other way. Trying to keep your pieces of garlic really small, because the smaller they are, the more they'll infuse the flavour in the stir fry. Okay, so that is everything prepped up. Then I've also got some bean sprouts here. I'm going to put a handful of those onto the tray. Right, some oil. Okay, so to cook the stir fry, I have a wok. If you don't have one of these at home, don't worry, you can just use a normal saucepan or even a frying pan. Then you're going to need a mixing spoon. Yours is a plastic one, that doesn't matter. But firstly, I put the oil into the pan, making sure that you use good quality oil, because that will affect the flavour. Right, so let's put that on. I need to make sure that the oil is nice and hot. before we start adding the veggies in. The first thing that I'm going to put in there is I'm going to put in the garlic and the onion with the chilli, just to fry that until that is translucent, which is quite clear in colour and covered with the oil, and then I'll gradually add in the other vegetables. Now the key thing about stir frying is it's a quick method of cooking, but you must make sure that you get everything prepared before you start cooking, because it's quite a quick cooking process, and as you're cooking you must keep everything moving around the pan. So how's my oil doing? Okay, the oil's beginning to warm up, so let's move this over here. See the saucepan. Okay, so we're now showing the wok. Let's bring everything else over here. So that's my chopping board and my tray of vegetables. Okay, right, so you'll see when the oil starts to get hot because it will start to run around the pan. So now I'm going to add in my garlic, which will start to sizzle in a minute. Now at this point, do not walk away from your pan, because you do not want to get burnt garlic and burnt chilli over there. Right, you can hear starting to sizzle away. So now I'm going to put my onion into the pan as well. Make sure you break it up so it's not moving around the pan in slices. Get your mixing spoon and you must keep moving stuff around the pan, around the wok or saucepan that you're using, because as I say, stir frying is a quick method of cooking, but to get it evenly cooked, it's not going to cook evenly if it sits in a pile, so you've got to keep it moving. So the next thing I'm going to add to the pan will be my broccoli, because it's a little bit harder. Lovely smells. So with your stir fry, you could buy a sauce to go with it. I'm going to make my own using soy sauce, some chilli, salt and pepper. Right, so that's chucking my broccoli. Again, keeping it moving around the pan. So next I'm going to put in my pepper. Right, to do that, I'm just going to add in a couple of tablespoons of water. It's sizzling away. Now you don't want to boil it, just a couple of tablespoons, get the juices moving around. Now I'm going to add in a bit of soy sauce. And already I'm beginning to make my own stir fry dressing. Right, next I'm going to add in my mange tout. Again, keep it moving around the pan. As I said a few times, it is a quick method of cooking, so we're not keeping it in the pan for a long time. The vegetables will retain their nutrients because they're not going to be lost through boiling. The colour is retained as well. So as you can see, we've got loads of colours going on in there. And we want vegetables not to be soggy, but al dente. Al dente meaning firm to the bite. So they have a little bit of crunch to them. Okay, so to make up my stir fry dressing, I'm going to add in some paprika. bit of salt and some pepper. What I quite like to add to this is either lime or lemon, but don't have any with me today, so it'll be interesting to see what dressings or sauces that you can come up with to add to your stir fry. Right, so lastly I'm going to add in the leeks and the bean sprouts. Now if you wanted to, you could add noodles to this as well, or even rice. You can buy the straight to wok noodles, which are already cooked, and you just add the packet, open the packet obviously, and then add the packet to the wok, or you could use rice noodles, something similar to this, that, hang on, let me get it right, that you would need to boil in water, to soften them up, and then add them to the pan. So I'll leave that one up to you. Now this is a vegetable stir fry, but obviously you'll be making this at home, so if you wanted to add chicken, beef or pork or whatever to it, then that's entirely up to you. Again, you'll need to be taking pictures and sending them through to your teacher. Okay, so that is our vegetable stir fry cooked. As you can see, and obviously you can't see that the vegetables are still slightly crunchy, but trust me, they are. Lots of colours going on in there. A nutritious, healthy, tasty dish.